Thank you very much. I like to give a small summary about what we are trying to achieve today in this panel discussion. So we'll start with a casual discussion about how would be the next view, or how are we going to see the ML, machine learning and artificial intelligence, AI, use in the cyber security field and sector, into making use of those huge data that we are collecting throughout the journey in utilizing the digital assets that we have in all organizations. So we collected a small number of questions that we like to float to all of the members in our panel, so we will have their perspective on. I'd like to start with this very general discussion question, that what would be the emerging ways that will adopt AI and machine learning into understanding and early detection of cyber threat. So let's start from my side here with Mashari. If you go ahead, please. What would be the emerging ways to adopt machine learning and AI into detecting and mitigating cyber threats?
Thank you, Abdulaziz, on that, and I'm honored to be with you here in this session. I'm happy to be in this great mind session and brainstorm we are talking about. As our part, we are working in the sport industry. Sport industry have a lot of challenges, have a lot of data, a lot of information, need to be secure, need to be easy to access, and again, to be secure. And if you have a ton of people that can analyze it, it will be a little bit expensive. For that, we adapt the latest technology to do the AI analyzing, cut off costs on that, smart way. A small example, we can find it in the last Saudi marathon. We done integrated with our data information here in our data center here in Riyadh, with the smart panel in the hand, that every athlete, when he walk, he will have all his data coming, and everyone can scan barcode anyone that attended. Then we know who is he and what health medical thing that he have. God forbid, and anything happened to him, we have a heart attack, he cannot breathe well and anything, it will generate a signal, alarm signal to any bridge, cellar bridge that in the area, that will announce that emergency team to come and rescue him. This is one of the house built from the front to the end, being done by us, smart way, with the support of Huawei team for the bridge and technology. However, what I'm saying, and we are saying, yeah, we are working the new destination. We have a lot of challenges. We are now adapting what they call it the scorecard technology, like the European League or the English League, to see the player, if there any attack, heart attack, God forbidden, or he have any issue in his body. We have sensor in every player that we're going to generate it in the system. This is the way we are using AI, because if you're going, all our technology, we are IT at the end. Any information, it's data at the end. If you want to analyze it, you have two way. Fashion way, you bring people, it will take time, cut cost, and it have very high, and you cannot get the plug or any anomaly or any problem on it in time. But if you're using a computer AI that will do analysis super time, will see the problem and give you a flag, people will handle it. This will make life easier. Purpose for us, as I told you, we are working in fast world as a sport. The information must be huge, must be clear, must be secure, must be easy to learn. An example, it will be in cloud, it will be in cellular phone, it will be on online, in email, anything, all those things must be 100% secure. For that, I think the AI still will not get maybe 10% or 20% of the capacity of the AI learning. I hope that next year and the year after it, we can use 100%. I don't think we can do it. It's like you're using the full capacity of your brain. The AI have a lot of multiple things. I am using it in a multiple way. I organize it, I work on it, and I see a bright future. in all technology, in all the world of application, AI, and analysis. I'm sorry for big talk. Sorry.
It's well-rounded in a sense that utilizing, and getting the data sorted out is going to be the first wave of understanding the landscape, and then deciding how to deal with those. Jen, if you have any comment on this, please go ahead. The same question: what would be the emerging ways that will be adopting ML and AI into early detecting of the cyber threat?
No, I think Mashari kind of laid it out very clear. It's really about having fresh set of data, access to the data, and being able to use it. And of course, the power of how much you could actually use it. And, you know, the reality check is like, yeah, we probably could use only 10, 20%. And I think part of it is you know, time, resource, and money, right? It's not easy to find a security people that has a data science background. But I think going back to the question of, you know, how do we detect it against advanced threat adversaries? And I'll be the first one to say, as a product company, look, most of the marketing stuff is all about this AI ML, but reality is very little is actually applied, unfortunately. We are a data company first, so we do have a lot of data science, but it's not really about that. The problem is that we have a tendency to believe that AI ML is going to automate, let's say, cyber attacks or defend against cyber attacks. In order to do that, you need to have lots of dynamic data, not static data. So I think, you know, with Mashari and articulating about the games and the people, those are dynamic data that constantly changes, and that's a real data. Whereas a threat data, 80 to 90% is going to come from automated tools, or very small percentage is going to be done by a true mercenary or cyber espionage expert. That is not something that's detectable. If it was, then everybody was, you know, it would never make sense. We have lots of instrumentation, telemetry to collect information. I think part of, and going back to Mashari's model, is really need to look at our signals. How do we bring them together and actually look at how to apply something on it? But I think it's only for like super mature organization like Mashari just laid out. Not every security organization even close to even having fusion center or data analytics. And that's, you know, there's a huge gap between being able to do AI ML into threats versus, you know, reality. It's very small. Sorry, Mohamed, you want to say something? Because I know I took a little bit of time. So.
Please go ahead, Mr. Mohamed.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you about the use of the AMI to protect the operation and the data. But I'm thinking about how the AI can help us to automate the decision making, and this is always an issue, either because of the resources or because of the data that we need to have for threat identification and malicious codes identification. This malicious activity for legacy solution or for any system that we have, for instance, AI can proactive and monitor devices for suspicion activity instead of relying on slowly updated malware database or static data that we could have to detect the threats and the issues. And this is, I think, the direction now, how we can rely on AI solution to protect us, not only on the human element or the factor that we have to have lots of resources in order to have this piece in our operation. So identify the threat early is always a combination of conventional threat intelligence, which is a list of known cyber threats to up to date, and then use of machine learning to understand the risk and how this risk is analyzed and taken into action, or at least support a decision for security team or professionals to apply or have it in action. So in fact, the machine learning can also be used to spot any abnormal abnormality in potential vulnerability in the midst or normal activity, and warn user about these traits in advance. We always have an issue, or at least I will talk about the healthcare from my point of view, and I have end user like a physician and nurses, where to have them educated about security and the threats and a potential risk to their data is always an issue, either because they are extremely busy or I don't have enough resources. AI can also a potential solution to fill this gap of communication and early detection, and warn the end user about this threats and handle it and manage it from different levels. So I think also there is lots of technology out there that require AI and upper level of data classification in healthcare. Again, we're talking about the blockchain, for example, technology, and we're talking also about cryptocurrencies, and like, for example, Bitcoin and the other cryptocurrencies that is out there, how the record is centralized or decentralized, and what is the future use of blockchain for healthcare or any other industry. We have to have enough tool or modern security tool to secure such operation. So I think as long we go deep into the data and go deep into the operation to understand how AI can help, this will be indeed required to understand where is the use and how we can use.
Yeah, I totally agree with whatever has been mentioned here, and I especially want to pick up on one aspect of using the machine learning and AI into behavior analysis. As behavior into the network and into the digital assets become more diverse, more data heavy, it's going to be extra important. So we have some eyes looking at those type of behavior across different digital assets in our network. So identifying those threats within that behavior, it's going to be very important in the next stage to identifying security threats, and then going to mitigate them or actually act on them. Now, I want to segue to the other question, is that what would be, from your thinking, would be a good use case for artificial intelligence or machine learning in the near future? Again, we should start with Mashari.
For the machine learning, it's an open field. As I told you earlier, we cannot do 100% of it. To have a lot of what they call it, integrated, a lot of system, and even as our colleague said that, and he have challenges that he need to a lot of staff to teach the nurses and him, and even me. I have a lot of I have above plus 15K employee here, athlete and employee, administrative employee. For that, it's very challenges, and I think the future on it, we need to invest on it, and we need to keep our eyes on the physical machine and even the hybrid. I like the concept of hybrid technology because it will give you more time, more AI, small application, or what they call it, a lot of mathematic things that can be analyzing all the problems, give you more secure, give you more resilient, more performance for all the basic, or what they call it, old school technology that we are using. Example, we are now using Azure cloud or AWS or Google, or someone will call it any type Alibaba service. Before, we need to spend a lot of money, millions, to take care of this server, to have a data center, to have a lot of security thing, and even a layup on it. Now it's all about your subscription on it. You add anything you need and pay half of the thing that you do on it, and even for enhancement. For that, I think you are still not covering maybe 20% of this field. The future is coming. We have a lot of things to learn from it. AI, I think that it's a big challenge. Why? I think that low cost of the manpower of the IT team, we need to look for a lot of forensic. Sorry, I have a lot of sound because we are changing our data center, by the way, now. And I think this is it.
Yes, Mr. John. Go ahead. What would be the use case that would be utilizing ML and AI in the near future?
Was that for me?
Yes, please.
Oh, sorry. No, I think future is very simple. We need to take everything that all the machine learning and AI at the social media companies, and we need to bring those. Because if they can figure out by looking at the screen how quickly they should place an ad, how to monetize the ad, follow the ad, there's some logic to that, I think. And I'm joking, but I look at the AI models for how social media works, how organization use for media, advertising spots. It is so innovative if you think about it. Like what you said earlier, like if we had all this behavioral analytics, we're reinventing the wheel. The social media company has it down to a T. Like they could hear you, they could touch you, they could see you, they could place things, they could build sentiments. And just the power of that is just magnificent, right? So I think it's not something we need to really even think about. It's just how we use what is already out there. And believe it or not, when I was working at a bank, when I ran the security there, and one of the first thing I did was just hire a bunch of interns, big data analysts. Why? Because they don't have technology debt. So they don't think like security people. And I just said, what are the data you need to glean some information? Here's all the data you have available. Build me a model of what you think out of it. And that, I don't think it's the technology, it's people being open to allowing and enabling new set of ideas, new set of people to glean insights from it. Because I think part of the problem with IT and security is it's about the infrastructure, or it's about the application, or it's about controls. It has nothing to do with that. We have troves of data, and we need to take a step back in the next generation of people to look at it from a fresh set of eyes. And I guarantee you, you will have them innovate new ideas, because AI and ML is not really a new technology. It's basically math models and statistics and telling it to do something. So I think we all need to stop being a data scientists, bring real data scientists, and really do something with it.
Sound interesting to that experience. Mr. Mohamed, if you would like to take the same question. Your mic is muted.
Yes. Sorry.
Go ahead.
Thinking about the different use case, for example, in the healthcare, and how this can improve and protect the healthcare assets, and of course the sensitive data is very key to have the AI and ML for such industry. Healthcare is a heavily regulated industry, and even there is a specific security standard other than the personal security standard only for healthcare. And thinking about that, the future also, we should think about the future of AI and ML for healthcare, and the security should be also different. For operational enhancement, there's a lots of use cases, starting from the disease discovery, drug discovery, understanding the common issues, and the relationship between the patient disease history and the demographics data, relink all this together to give us a meaningful output for the physicians or the people who's taking the decision. as well as for the technology part. So since we have to dig down into this data, and we have to discover if there is a gap, or if there is a potential threat, or if there is issue on the data collected, how it's collected and how it's classified in the EHR, or electronic health system, with the help of machine learning and AI. So I think the potential and opportunity is there, and I feel it will be more in the future, and the utilization will go even more in the future.
I think the opportunity is huge, and I wanted to share one use case that I've been involved in, and that is the elevation of privilege. And what we did is simply have a monitoring on the AD, or Active Directory, and we just monitor for elevation of privilege. That's it. So, and we run this through, a logic, or an algorithm that will give us an alert as soon as we identify that elevation of privilege. Now, this might not be that huge use case in the scheme of things, but it is specifically targeted for that type of attack that called elevation of privileges. So with that, we did start with false positive that we identified, but along the way, as soon as it's settled, then we are confident that right now, if there is any elevation of privilege will occur, we will be at least alerted. Then we could go ahead and move to the next layer of action. So that was something from my own experience on the top of the pile of the experts, spoke on their experience. I see Mashari is pointing. You want to add something? Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm happy to be with you. But you tried something from us last Sunday. This is, maybe a lot of you don't know. I'm in the field of AI and integrated and big data from around 2016 from Aramco. We done a lot of security analyzing there. And even I went to something called the Airbus Defense and Space. We was having the intelligent AI camera analyzing everything for the military purpose. After that, I joined Sadaya. I'm the owner of a new project for Tawakkalna. We've done a huge AI. As you said, Jen, we bring a 600 employee fresh. The same thing, male and female, fresh. And I told them, the data, we done what they call a corruption, as project management said, it's a corruption project. Yeah. We dividing for a 12 team, and it said, okay, every team work with a part of the program. And try to show me which other team is failing. 100% open source, Saudi-made application, and full integrated with all the application, all the managed service, all the ITL, all the ERP that already government using, and even the archiving system. We need to use in one application that can get 100 validity and be secure. And if there any problem in the future, they know how to fix it. I was the field support for them, and this is my life achievement to work with a bright mind, a 600 male and female, and they achieve. As you said, it's the same thing. If you bring people and you give them power and you support them and told them, look from the other angle that I believe. Even my team now, here I'm sitting, I'm managing a less team than before. It's like 20%. But usually what I said, I don't tell them what I need. I tell them we have an issue. This is our life. We are IT. We are troubleshooting people. We kill the trouble. This is our trouble. We need to solve a solution. Everyone show us his angle. We wrote it down, brainstorming, and we solved it. I think this is the same thing. We need to focus on it. Enlighten, enhance, believe. I believe that IT, it's the future for everything, in every industry. communication, health, medical, industry, everything must be running by IT, IoT, and I believe best hospital, sorry for saying, the best hospital now working on IoT level, full ITC, dedicated zone, working without any Wi-Fi, only IoT. My house is full IoT house. I think hospital around the world are implemented IoT, more secure, more easier, best cost-wise, and fast AI alert. All the hospitals using the same technology. Sorry for adding that, but Mr. Abdulaziz, he tried our pillar with around, you know how much the budget they done it? We work on this project 1 week, by the way, and here in Ministry of Sport, 1 week, and we done that project with a budget with around 300K. And we done it.
The point that you're making, Mashari, is that if you have a challenge and you put it openly with people, I think we could solve it. And the other point is that IT and technology and, of course, security threat would be the next challenge in the next future for the next 15 years. And that is a great segue for us to talk about zero trust. Because when we are talking about the old way of handling communication and authorization, or IMA, identification, authorization, and management, it's all about identifying those people that utilizing your digital assets. Now, the concept of zero trust, it's a totally new approach right now in coming into the utilizing of securing cloud. And it's helping a cloud transformation in all organization. So we wanted to take some some thoughts on that subject, using or utilizing zero trust into the approach of transformation to the digital, of course, cloud transformation, or moving to the cloud. If you want to take it first.
But as you said, it's a zero trust. At the end, you need to use the mobility, resilience of the cloud, and you need to be safe. How you can do that? Old way of technology, that in-house premise, you will put the policy, put all your security, measurement, policy, everything, and you follow it. And you will be 100% safe. It's not 100% safe. Now you have the cloud. You need to be step off the technology of the hacker, the pirates. You need to read more, to know the new technique, how they are injection, how they are doing it, how they do sensor engineering. Why all those things? Because you need to know how they are dealing, how they are thinking. You need to understand. It's like you're playing chess. When you play chess, you need to understand the gentleman in front of me, how he's thinking. What is the strong point that he's using? What is the low point? In our field, as a technology, you need to be a bit lifting 100% of the zero trust, even for yourself. Don't trust anything. I don't trust anyone. And I always say to my colleague, I don't trust anyone. Myself, even if I send you not the regular way, you don't trust it. Last night, I wake up, some message coming from my phone. I saw that someone changed my password. I go and change everything. I have an application that will change the password automatically for my machine, but I forgot. I don't trust it that I done it. The same thing in our team. You need to align them, show them the technique, show them the policy, enforce the technology for the organization that you work on it. Try to write a deep, very deep plan for security, enhancement, change requests. This is the most important thing, change requests. Reviewing and updating all the policy and procedure and the update, security update, changing authority. I have like maybe 10 systems here. Everyone have administrator right. And we have the super user that have all the administrator and an envelope and one of the safe. No one have it, even me. Do you think that I myself, I am the CIO here. I don't have the administrator right to install application. We have a DB team. We have a support team. We have a security team. We have everything lay up. Why? Because, at the end, you will not reach 100%. You will reach 99%. This percent, it's the hacking way. This is the way. This is the way that every day, day by day, the hacker, the black hat people, the red team, they will find the top security thing. Maybe if you go 10 years before, you will never heard that Apple phone that been hacked, or X government or X security level they've been hacked. Now, every day by day, you'll find patches, you'll find error, will find a backdoor on any type of security measure. For that, I believe that zero trust is good, but you need to enhance the people. You need to follow the past procedure for your department. You need to learn and teach all the department. I'm saying something, everyone will laugh now. I always say to my team, you are the genius people. Other than Department of IT, they are cavemen. You need to go down for their level and teaching them how to do it. Don't think they are better than you. No, if you think like that, you will fail, because you need to teach them basic, show them the way, give them the bad thing that if you done that, this is a problem. You need to fix it. You need to work with them. You need to enhance and write the traffic, or they call it a career plan for every employee. In the future, you'll sit and see how you will learn from your team. Sorry for a long story, but I try to my best to cut it down a little bit.
Thank you. Jen, if you want to take that one, what would be the zero trust, approach and, facilitating the use of cloud transformation?
I think they're two separate. No, we just shifted from our utility center to another utility center, because technically speaking, it's all in the cloud is cloud, but reality is that data's data center by them anyways. It's a utility to utility, just transfer liability. I'm not a big fan of zero trust. I'll be the first one to admit it. It's another marketing term. It's a concept. I mean, remember when the PCI came out, we need to have, CDEs or whatever those things were called. Government has the SCIFs, the secure compartment. Everybody has these terminologies. We need to be realistic. I've been in Red Forest environment, VR, I've been in some really secured environments. And yet we still hear about these breaches and hacks. Let's be realistic. No technology is going to stop human stupidity and motive from any kind of design. Zero trust is an idea that sparks imagination, like, oh, we're going to be able to implement zero trust model and we're going to use a point solution again. I think we just needed to take a step back. I think some of the IT people, security people, organization understand what they need to do to separate people and data and processing utilities. We have too many. We need to do a better job of asset inventory. We need to have a data kind of collection tool. We need to know where our data is, how they're all connected. It's what I call the plumbing. If you can figure out the plumbing, then you can figure out where to stop things. And once you figure that out, you can call it zero trust, quantum trust, Mashari trust. It doesn't make a difference. I mean, at the end of the day, it's who you want the information to flow. And to build that, you need to know your schematics. It's unfortunate because marketing has spent so much money and everybody talks about that they build zero trust, yet they're the spigot that allows interconnectivity to all of it. So for example, product A says we create zero trust. So does that mean that product A basically has the backdoor to every system in the world? The short answer is yes, because that's how it works. So in summary, what I would say is this is really about leadership and trust or untrust, however you want to call it. It's about having the right people to instrument and you having the visibility to do things that we've been talking about, but making sure people give me the budget for it. Because I'm sure that the board of directors like, oh, we need to put a zero trust model. Here's a budget. Versus, hey, I've been asking for the same network segmentation, same modernization, same upgrade for the last 20 years, and you wonder why I can't patch, right? So I'll just leave it at that.
That sound about a reality check for us. That's true. Mr. Mohammed, if you want to take a call.
I'm slightly disagree with the statement about the zero trust benefit. I have seen this benefits myself. Last operation, I was having a cloud operation for around 3,500 plus resource. And one of the optimization technique that we used to optimize overall the cloud operation is zero trust. And we're thinking it's a microservice operation where we have e-commerce platform hosted in the cloud, and of course connected and integrated with the on-premise data center. And the zero trust was the right approach, and it does not involve and the application or not involve the eliminating of perimeter. Instead, for cloud scenario and the deployments, this model used network and application layer micro-segmentation to move the perimeter in as close as possible to the privileged apps, which is hosted in your in the public cloud or your native cloud, and keep the surface as well protected. So if you think about it, it's like kind of lean methodology, lean technical methodology, how to optimize this the security on the cloud operation. And if we think about the micro-segmentation, how it enabled the zero trust adoption, first the security will likely need to be integrated into workload. And both to present administration and maintaining access control to the cloud environment. Second is the actual behavior of the application and services running on each system, whether on the cloud or on the perimeter or your data center. And then have the design adjusted and see also where is the opportunity for optimization. For me, I have reached what I want from implementing the zero trust technology, making my operation in the cloud more secure. And surprisingly, we saved also the cost, because we terminated a lots of VNets at that time, centralizing the access and having the data center and the cloud connected in a very optimized way using the zero trust approach.
Yeah, I totally, it's a balance between having the right tool for the right job, of course, but comparing having a VPN to a zero trust, it does make a lot of sense if I only have that point of or that surface of attack, instead of having a VPN that is that big of a surface of attack. So I really I think that yes, it is a term that is buzz term right now, zero trust, but it does have some practicality to it. And it's gonna be a while until we see real practical use in it. But I'm sure that it will prove by itself, by practicality, in the coming future, that it is useful to have that level of trust to a certain individual or certain application, certain asset or the digital asset to access. Now, let me go through a different, way of question or way of thinking or brainstorming with you guys. We're thinking about always that, of course, in a point of attack, we have to have a business continuity strategy. Now, how could we have those two together, like having security practices, cybersecurity practices, and embedding them inside the business continuity strategy as well? So that's something that I like to have some insight from your side. Let's start with Mashari. Go ahead.
I didn't know really my idea is a little bit cloudy. If you can pass someone else,
sure.
I'm having a message, so maybe I'm doing some sign to my team. And I'll do them after Jen.
No, Jen, go ahead.
I don't want to remove his idea. I'm a Star Wars fan, by the way, for that I believe that technology will go ahead than that. For that, let's Jen do it, then I'll jump.
Jumping to you, Jen, if you could take this, integrating cybersecurity practices with business continuity strategies.
Yeah, I think BC, especially here in the States and Latin America and Europe, we're seeing a lot of BCP groups actually being pulled under information security groups or under the CISO. There's a concerted effort around having those BCP practices, the tabletop exercises, getting everybody together and preparing it. And of course, documentation. We talk about people, process, technology, playbooks, all of these things being prepared. I think there's a lot of ideas to make sure these practices and the individuals and groups are involved in the principles of, the BCP exercises and what to do. It's in practice. I do see that more and more as we're expanding out to Middle East as well, seeing that as well. But, the one word of caution has always been is anything that any organization do, security team and IT team is not equipped to go outside of the box in a lot of cases. And in everything in reality, if there was an incident or BCP exercise, even a true BCP environment is also time, resource, and money that needs to be pre-committed. So, as a CEO and a business person, of course, I'm going to be cost conscious, right? And the security team is like, well, I need X, 2X, 3X increase. So I think there is profit versus reality. And I think we just need to stop preaching it like as something of a standard or what is happening. I know a lot of magazines, marketing, media talks about, there has to be new money ingested into security or more staffing or IT, digital transformation. But they're not in the seat of making money. If we're not making money, they don't have a job, right? So it's a real cat and mouse. And I think, being a practitioner for 30 years and then running a company is a real eye opener. I've been doing due diligence for VC companies for over 15 years. And, what I'm seeing is, I understand there's a need for this BCP stuff, but it needs to be able to be done without interrupting the business. And as a business owner and the CEO of the company, I could frankly say that it's like, I get it. You need security. You want to do the updates. Do what you got to do. Make it seamless, but don't interrupt the business operation, because all of this is not going to make sense. If we can't make money, you won't have a job, right? That's the reality. And I think it's time for IT, security, all the components, and just to summarize everything, this technologies, the products, the ideology, all of this is to drive one single thing, which is to build a machine that makes money. Kind of like you guys in the Gulf Coast, right? You guys know where the best refineries are, where the best oil is, right? And we're the same way as an intelligence company. We're going to try to find the best intelligence against bad guys. And that's our business. And anything outside of it, like you want to do patching on my machine while I'm in the middle of a meeting, not going to happen. That's unfortunately, I'm going to be honest with you. That's the reality. So all this BCP stuff is great. Yes, it's integrated. We have smart people to make those things happen. A lot of organizations have it. It's an important thing to do, but it's a balance. And as a business owner, I'm just going to tell you, it's not reality either.
Yeah, sure. Then we're jumping to, again, Mr. Mohamed, then we'll come back to Mashari to give him more time to think about, a perspective. Mr. Mohamed?
Thank you very much.
What do you think?
Yeah, I think there is a gap here of understanding both terminology from business and technology about the BCP rule. And this is something common. There's some disconnection between the two. The BCM arm is more focusing on the critical business area that generating revenue for organization, where is this pieces or technology pieces or even process pieces to have it secure on a PCB plan. While from the technology, PCB could be a form of, let's say, disaster recovery arm that represent for understanding the implementation implication of incident or technology problem in an organization, which is definitely affecting the business in another way. When cyber incident occur or a PCB team relies on relevant information about the event to the technology PCB team or the disaster recovery team, the DR team is then responsible for understanding what specific vulnerability lead to that hack. So what I can advise here, and even though you have a plan, you have a process, you have a technology, and the people still, you need to assess and reassess your PCB plan and what you have implemented for enhancement, because the threats and the attack never be the same every time and every day. Every day there is a change. Therefore, you also have to change. And as long you are improving, then you are making a change, because your change should lead to improvement, even in how you protect and how you mitigate this threats in your BCP plan.
Great. Back to Mr. Mashari. Go ahead.
To cut it down, or to my other colleague, Jen and Mohamed, mashallah, they add a lot of good value and good information. And I believe from my view, saying that PCB methodology, I think it's additionally layer for security. If you want to follow it very well, you need to take care of your business at the end, as Jen said, and I am 100% with them. If you're here as an IT, or you're here as a solution specialist or security specialist, to do business need, to carry the business for the best practice, easier, fast, not interrupting. This is your job. Why you are here? To support, to serve the people. To serve them how? To make their life easy, to make their data secure, to show them how we can technology in the best possible way. Again, if you want to do all those things, it's the front of everyone. You need to take care of the back end, the security. If you're security 100%, but you're doing delay for the emails and like that, the CEO going to fire this stupid team. Sorry for saying that. And this guy, you need to crucify him in front of the building. So that when I joined them here, the same issue happening. Because I put sandbox technology, I put analyzer, I put a lot of things. They are kind. Every day the president called me, the CEO called me, the prince called me. Mashari, I'm sending an email, I'm taking like half an hour to receive it. The gentleman have it. I tell him, it's technology. No, my friend, I don't know. Remove it. I need to be hacked. He say like that. So that we need to do at the end. We need to be step by step with the business to take it to the next level, to make it, we are a service provider, we serve people, we are a gentleman, serving another gentleman, the team. We need to protect their business, to make it easy, to make the data easy to access. As I told you, we are sport. We have a lot of athletes. We need to give them data, million of tera, but we need to make it easy to access, multiple way to access, and secure. The secure thing, it's the most important thing. I think PCB is most important and must, but you need to do it smartly. How to do it? Do penetration testing at the beginning of the year and again at the end of the year. Choose the timing when you're going to do anything. Do the timing for patches. So the timing, how to increase the security and decrease the security as per business need. At the end, you're working here to serve the business. Don't over-exceed the security and don't over-lack it. I'm here, everyone don't like me, by the way. Every organization, no one like me, I'm the black sheep. But at the end, I told them, I have a goal. At the end of the year, you need to see the goal. Easy, access, performance, and you can't rely on it. I'm very sorry.
No.
I'm very honest.
Very open, Mashari. Now, we're saying that business continuously, this is a strategy that, as example from my own industry, if the system is failing, and then I have to apply a new layer of system, like I cannot access right now the main HIS or the main ERB. What I'm going to do to provide to my front end, as you said, the business owners inside the hospital, to continue business as usual without any interruption. So if that practice have jeopardized the organization, like exposing any health information to the general public, because I don't have that layer of security, username and access and whatever, so I'm putting it into a sheet or a Google sheet or an Excel sheet. That immediately is jeopardizing the security. So in that manner, if we want to add in that security practices, security thinking, when we are implying practices or strategy that will help into business continuity, that is something that every organization need to think about in their own pace and in their own environment, and come up with ways to make sure that when they apply certain workaround or a backup system or whatever, it doesn't jeopardize the information as a whole. That's essentially my perspective on the whole thing. I really appreciate. Shari is always go ahead.
I want to add small tip on that. At the end, what I'm saying, we need to be following the business at the end. And as I told you, we are here in any organization to drive the business to success, even leader or support. We are here to drive the business to success for 100% performance, to be 100% efficiency and even agility. If we cannot deliver that to the organization, they're going to replace us. Simple. But I'm not a fan with people that overfloat, bring 100 technology, 100 layout. I don't like it. I always fighting with a CEO. You know that why I am a CEO for a 300 organization. All the federation here in Saudi Arabia, I'm the top of the security of them. When we have the meeting on them and we sit, what's your problem? The security team saying the IT team. The IT saying the security, the application saying that. I am, as a background, I work in support as a technician. I raise my time frame. I am now having like 25 years as a work. I work on a lot of projects, but I work as a technician. I go to a network administrator, system administrator, a security, and even I reach to auditor. I know everyone how he's thinking. We have a problem that a lot of CIO and management, they call it not a technical part, they are managerial level, but they don't see it from the technical part. This is the problem. When I sit with my CEO, you know that I have an administrator lady to teach, to show them what they call, they write it for a managerial level, to teach them that this is why we need that. And I sit with him. I told him frankly, his name is Mohamed. Mohamed, you are happy with your iPad and internet and everything and your email. Suddenly, if you're sending a money transfer to pay 1 million and someone take 5 million, what will happen to you? You look at me and afraid. They will hand me. I told him yes at the end. I don't want to pay extra money on that. I needed to pay what's regular, like what I'm doing. And you need to do the basic, the standard, and test everything. All the companies that don't like me for one reason. Any project, I told them, okay, I need a POC on it and see if it works. And if I need it, and if it changed my business or operation plan, I'll take it. If not, sorry, from the beginning, I say it that like that. But I think all of us in our what do they call it, in our back and our head, we need to drive the business for success. If you cannot drive your business success, you don't give them efficiency, what they call performance for email, performance for the application, performance and secure for the data, you need to resign. I'm saying it like that. Simple. By the way, I study on MIT, by the way. So
you know what?
I think
what's funny? You know what's funny is after 30 years, I decided to have my actual firm. But I would say 15 years, I ran data centers. But too much like Mashari, I started out building machines and then running data centers for Coca-Cola before I even went to. Only reason why I went to security is because they forced me into it after 9/11, right? And regardless of that reason, I think there is the really the silver lining, which is that 90% of the security people don't understand IT. 100% of the CIO, 99% of the CIOs don't have are really paper and not practical, right?
Management, not technical background.
Yeah.
That's why I was fighting with a lot of CIO on that thing.
And then there's
this is very interesting talk. We really would love to have another hour just to talk about those experience. Really, I know these are practical experience. Everybody going through the process of doing an actual project will actually hit those dead ends and have those challenges. Those are practical, real life, experience. And I really appreciate the openness of everybody to share with us. Sorry that I have to. The time is already. We are past our set time. I wanted to just summarize. I think if I be successful into doing simple wording of what we have discussed is that being practical, being true to the business, being accommodating to make the success happen. Interfacing with people, interfacing with real cases inside the business that you are leading, being part of the success, reducing the impact of threat, having that level of education, interfacing between, of course, the different team and different players inside that organization that you are representing and serving is the main key aspect when we're seeing all of these. But all of these are human trait, human properties. But what we're seeing in the future is moving some of those trait and functionality into machine learning. So as a practical example, Mr. Mohamed said that I want to educate my physician, but they don't have time, I don't have resources. So we build in those type of action, just-in-time information. When they pop up, you really say, this is a practice that will harm you, please stop this activity. Or the other way around, when you are taking a snapshot of a screen, that will be stopped immediately. Please, you're flagged for something like this. Those are some of the practical tools that we might see in the future, because we see practicality. And even if we do it by hand right now, it's coming future, it's going to be done either by a machine or artificial intelligence as well. I really appreciate all of the insight. I'm just summarizing right now, so we're really needing to finalize. I want to hand over to go ahead, please.
Thank you so much, Mr. Alkhlaif, for steering this discussion. I must say we saved the best for last. I want to thank all our speakers for joining us today and sharing with us practical, everyday know-how that people can use to secure their workplaces and look at cybersecurity threats very dispassionately and find the best solutions that work for them. A big thank you to all of you for taking the time out and joining us.